The Pittsburgh Steelers have made a huge signing. They've got multiple updates. They've done multiple roster moves in the wake of our Week 3 matchup against the New England Patriots. My name is Tamir Jean-Charles. This is Steelers Digest. Let's hop right into it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please get subscribed. We've got a lot of good content coming out in the foreseeable future for this channel. How you doing, Yinjers, today? Feeling good as we're going into Week 3. I really never felt this good going into Foxborough Stadium, obviously, because of the quarterback that used to be over there. I will not say his name. But, you know, we've got Drake May this week. It seems like we have to talk about the running backs all the time. They got Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson on that team in New England. But I'm feeling good with the Steelers' defense and offense subsequently are going to put on tape. I feel good that we're going to bounce back in that Week 3 matchup. Before we get into that, we do have roster updates, signings, moves. This comes from the Steelers official website. I'm not going to go in order as you see. You guys can read it. I will go in order of what's more, I would say, more important for the squad. Steelers have signed wide receiver Isaiah Hodgins, guy that used to be got drafted by the Bills, actually. Then went to the Giants and went to San Francisco to play for the 49ers. And now he's in Pittsburgh. Had a really good 2022 with New York. That was when Saquon Barkley was still there. His average depth of target is 9.3 yards. So he's a deep ball guy. Not like a George Pickens, but a guy that you can use on crossers. He could build up momentum, build up speed, runs a 4.6, but moves quicker than that, in pads. As you guys know, I do not like combine stuff, but just wanted to put that in just to give a little context on the type of player we're getting. 6'3", 200 pounds. He's a guy that could become a force for us, and no drop passes as well in his career at all. 0 drop passes in his whole entire career. Racked up over 50 catches and 600 plus yards, 7 touchdowns in his career in the limited snaps he has gotten, which is honestly pretty good, to be fair. Calvin Austin, I would say, has notched up a wide receiver 2 role. I say that confidently. I don't know what Yinjers think out there. I would say that confidently. Please let me know about that in the comments, just real quick. I would say that confidently he's notched up that number 2 role. No one really made any breakout plays against Seattle, but against the Jets, he played really well in that game, came away with the touchdown. The only one that scored from a wide receiver perspective against the Seahawks was DK Metcalf, and in that game he only had 3 catches for 20 yards on, I think, 4 or 5 targets. So I think he's notched that role up. I think he's really going to be competing against Roman Wilson. Same deal with Caleb Johnson. I'm not going to keep on beating on that drum, but the coaching staff is going to make you do other things before you can get the ball in your hands. And as we can see, I think Roman Wilson's caught 1 ball, might have been for 2, 3, or 4 yards. And obviously Caleb Johnson had that 1 rush against the Jets for -2 yards. So they'll give you that one opportunity, see what you can do with it. And if you're not doing your other job well, you're going to have to build up the trust back again. But I know I said I had high hopes for Roman Wilson. Obviously, the front office has high hopes for Roman Wilson. We'll just, it's week 2. I'm not going to do too much. We'll see how he progresses. 17 weeks in the season. And obviously, Ben Skoranek played really well against the Jets. Special teams, caught a touchdown. So he's always going to be there. Scotty Miller's always going to be there. So Isaiah Hodgins, he's got some work cut out ahead of him if he wants to get off the practice squad, because he is on the practice squad, and that leads us to our next practice squad signing, Juwan Bentley. Now, he's the same case as Jabril Peppers for the Patriots, as a guy that was going through some legal issues with the NFL. Then he had a hamstring injury, so he missed 14 games out of a 17-game season. They release him this year. A couple months later, or a few months later to several months later, he finds himself on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Same thing with Juwan Bentley. From 2021 to 2023, Had 100 plus combined tackles. He had a career high 4.5 sacks in 2023. He's a guy that can stop the run. And right now, like I said, it's early, but through week 2, Pittsburgh Steelers have given up the fifth most rushing yards on defense. He's a real good run stuffer. He's a real good run stopper from that inside linebacker position. And his 2024 ended with a season-ending pec injury. So it's another guy. As you guys can probably tell, the Patriots are trying to get younger with their roster, and the stuff they're doing. They're really trying to just revamp the whole team. So a lot of these vet guys, unfortunately, were the oddballs out. But hey, they could provide some depth and they can provide some competition. On our squad, Juwan Bentley as well is on the practice squad, and tight end Matt Sokol is on the practice squad as well. Another change that was made is DeMarvin Leal. It's going to be interesting to see where they play him. He's been elevated to the 53-man, same as James Pierre when Joey Porter Jr. went down. I'll talk about him in a few. He was a guy that was like, okay, is he 2 tech, 3 tech, 4 tech? Now he's probably going to be playing 6 tech. So we'll see what he can do. I actually am interested to see, like, genuinely what he's going to do against the Patriots with how thin our D line is, and some of our pass rush. TJ Watt doesn't play every down, but so we'll see. It's actually a low key exciting thing to look out for on Sunday. To where DeMarvin Leal plays. Is he going to play on the ball, off the ball, outside linebacker, D tackle, D end? Obviously not D tackle, but just on that line. Is he going to be a D end? So we'll see. And those are all the roster changes that were made to the team. Obviously, like I said, Aaron Rodgers gets more depth at wide receiver. Those are his stats. 10 games in 2022. That's when they brought him in for that short stretch. Caught 37 balls for 392 yards, 4 touchdowns. We see him on the Bills. The Bills let him go real early, and then he was on the Giants. So serviceable receiver, great size, great hands. We'll see what he can offer the team. Now, next in updates are injuries, because we are getting closer to game day. Derek Harmon was not placed on IR. I think I mistakenly said that last video or a couple videos ago. He was never placed on IR when he had his knee injury in preseason. He has been practicing. Tara Austin says, they're going to just see where he is. Today is Friday, so today is the last practice designation day for them to, bring out the injury report. So we'll see what the injury report says and how many snaps he could possibly play on Sunday against the Patriots. That is Derek Harmon's status. And then the big status is just Alan Saunders. If you're a Steelers fan, you probably know Alan Saunders. He released the whole entire practice report. So the did not practice for Wednesday is Deshaun Elliott. Obviously, that's an MCL sprain. It's probably not going to, I wouldn't say not be back anytime soon, but it's not a guy that you're going to see, limited or full participant in a little bit. Joey Porter Jr., I know I said that it was a precautionary thing, just want to take him out. Okay, we won the game against the Jets. It wasn't nail biter, but we won the game against the Jets. We do have some depth. Let's just use that depth and not have it be like a torn hamstring or something like that, which obviously it isn't. But as you know, hamstrings are tricky. Hamstrings and groins are like the most trickiest injuries you could have. So it's like timetables aren't really realistic for hamstring injuries. It's just more so getting treatment on it. How does the player feel about it? How can he run on it? Can he cut on it? So Joey Porter did not practice, and if that's a Wednesday, he's probably not going to be able to ramp it up in 2 days to be ready on Sunday. So I'm guessing Joey Porter is going to be out against the Patriots. Darius Slay had a vet rest. TJ Watt had a vet rest, and Alex Highsmith, obviously on that high ankle sprain, did not practice. Now, limited was Max Sharping knee, who days later we realized he tore his ACL. So that's a lineman that played a whopping, total of 7 snaps last year. He was just a depth piece, but that's now a depth piece that's gone for the year. Derek Harmon, as we can see, ramping it up. He was limited with that knee, and then a full participant was Patrick Queen with that oblique injury. So those are all the roster updates we have for y'all. Those are all the moves the Pittsburgh Steelers have made before their Week 3 matchup in Foxborough against Drake May and the New England Patriots. Just let me know how you guys feel about that game. Can we bounce back? Like I said, it's early. It's Week 3, but can we bounce back? Can we kind of drop those running stats so we're not 5th in the league in rushing yards given up? Because you know what teams are going to do. They're just going to run the ball away from TJ Watt and dare us to stop it, which we can't get mad at. So let me know what you guys think about the roster updates. Let me know what you guys think about the game on Sunday at 1 p.m. And I'll see you after that. All right, peace.